So you're rolling. You're recording.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, but before we really start at all, there's something very important I want to say, okay?
Okay.
And I've been trying to think about a good way to say this for a long time. It's been in my mind, and I don't know. So I'm just going to say it. Shandi, I like scary movies.
I heard it, and now I'm like, damn it. We could have just used that as our theme song. Sorry, George.
No way. It's so, well, the thing is, listen, I don't care about being cool, but however, our theme song is cool, and that song is so deeply uncool that that's what makes it funny.
That's very true, but it's
so great. I was just telling Margaret, I'm like, you know how a band makes a song, right? And so you imagine these 80s dudes all around in the rehearsal space, right? They kind of come up with this good jam on guitar, keyboard and stuff, and the bass, the drummers are going, and they're like, all right, we need some lyrics. And the next day, the singer's like, you guys, I got it. Check this shit out. I like scary movies. And they're like, oh my God, dude, you did it. Like, man, to be a fly on the wall or whatever.
it's just too good. I mean...
It's great. The band is called Pleasant Company. So is that a joke on Bad Company? Hey, you guys, you know how there's like a good band called Bad Company? What if we're a bad band called Pleasant Company? Oh, man.
I just choked on my own cough.
You pooped on your cough? What?
I choked on my cough because that was too funny. It's Pleasant Company.
That's what they're called. What?
Instead of like bad company, better company, but pleasant.
Worse company. Because they probably are.
You know what I thought you were going to say?
What?
Because you said, I've been wanting to say this for a while now. I was like, this is going to be our last time recording. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And my heart sunk into my butthole.
Wow.
And I was like, he's literally going to do this right before we record. Like I felt like I was like at a job where like they fire you like on a Friday after you've like done work.
Right. That's exactly what I wanted, so I'm glad that is exactly what happened. Because I told Margaret, should I do this? She's like, yeah. And and then I would listen to the song, I'm like, oh, I got to make sure I sing it right. Oh, boy. So there's a marathon, a half marathon. That was outside your apartment, or?
Yeah. It was actually the route I was taking because I was going about 30 minutes north, like a 30-minute north walk from my apartment to go to my morning kitty visit. And I never remember when there's going to be a marathon.
Well, why would you? There's only like a couple a year, you know?
Yeah, and nothing like that comes across my algorithms or whatever. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then, yeah, it just went like my whole route all the way up. And thankfully I didn't have to run across the street into the runners to get to where I needed to go, because that's normally what happens.
Yeah. Isn't that how it is? Like when I was there in 2014 to shoot that pilot thing that never worked, I was walking somewhere from the apartment they put me up at to go somewhere else. And I think President Obama was in town, and so there was a huge thing in the way, you know? And so, you know, sometimes the marathon's in the way. Sometimes, like, when we would try and go to the East Village for stuff, sometimes it'd be close to Halloween, and we forget about the Halloween parade. So that'd be in the way. At least that was cool. But my favorite thing ever that got in the way for me was in 2008-ish. Me and Trevor and Darren, maybe Sam too. I don't think Zach was there. But So, we're in Brooklyn or Queens, wherever. We get on the train and head into Manhattan. And we get out. We're like, what the hell is this? The Pope was in town.
Oh, shit.
And so there's a huge crowd. Because the Pope, that's always a big deal because he doesn't go places very often, right? So, so there's a huge crowd. The street was all blocked off. And we happened to come up right when the Pope passed by that area. So we saw him.
Cool.
Yeah, and he was just, it's like, the Pope-mobile is like a little white pickup truck with like a bulletproof booth on the back, and he was just sitting in there waving at people. It was that one, the German guy that retired because he was too old.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that one? Yeah. Anyways, but that's a very strange thing. Because, the thing is like, even if you don't care about any of that stuff, religion and Catholicism, whatever, it's still cool to see a Pope because, like, not very many people see the Pope. You know what I mean? Like,
not in that capacity either, in the back of a truck.
Or hanging out at a phone booth in the back of a truck. It's so weird. Well, but one of the popes someone took a pot shot at him years ago. Yeah. So that's why they started doing that. I forget.
Yeah. I felt kind of bad for the marathon runners. It was like cold, but then humid.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. So I just thought about everyone's like chappy nips.
Yeah.
Like your bleeding nips.
Well, they put tape on them a lot of times. Like they put Band-Aids over them, don't they?
Yeah, because they start to bleed when they crack.
Yeah. And they shit themselves sometimes. So...
Dude, and I saw a guy running without a shirt on and nothing on his nips. And I was like, you are going to be regretting that. You're only at the halfway mark, buddy. My nips are fucking hurting and I'm just walking out here.
Right. Well, when we watched our friend Sam run in a marathon, it was like, man, I'm glad I'm not doing that. Go Sam.
Yay. Were we drinking?
Oh, we were definitely drinking and eating tacos. We were being as unhealthy as we could while watching our friend who had gotten his act together, because like 6 or 7 months before that, he was just drinking a lot and whatever. And he stopped doing everything and got in really good shape and ran a fucking marathon.
Yeah.
And we were like, we need to go drink and eat cheese to support him. So that's what we did.
And we sure fucking did.
This is Earful of Popcorn. It's a horror movie podcast. And my name is Timmy Williams. This is the other person. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Shandi Sullivan. I am also here.
Right. You're also here. Very good. Also with us is her cat, Little Man / Big Man. So the movie we're talking about, well, first of all, we'll talk about why we're talking about talk about. So the month of April, me and Shandi both have birthdays. And so this year we wanted to pick a movie for the other person to watch that is from sub genre that they're not used to. And so I, last time was Zombie Flesh Eaters, which is Italian horror, which I like. And Shandi wasn't super familiar with too much of it. And so this time it's your genre, which we figured out a couple episodes ago that we would call it, Jesus Christ, video store horror. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what's the movie?
It's Return to Horror High. Yeah.
Cool. And from 1987. Now, the whole idea behind that was because you would go to the video store a lot when you were a kid and see covers and get the movies. But this one you actually only saw for the first time, a couple months ago, right?
That is correct. And it came up on Tubi, on my Tubi feed. And I went, I recognize that image, which is the skeleton in the cheerleading outfit with the pom-poms. I remember that from the VHS box cover when I was growing up, when we would go rent movies. And I just never picked it up for whatever reason. But that image always stuck in my mind. And I went, oh, shit, let me check this out. How many fucking years later? 20 something years later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it follows in one particular tradition of movies like this, which is the thing on the cover never happens in the movie. I don't even think, do we even see cheerleaders in the movie?
Yeah, for 5 seconds.
For a little bit in that one scene. Okay, yep.
Yeah.
Wow. So, but otherwise it's not...
But there's no, skeleton cheerleaders. We're going to have maybe, a stop-motion animation at some point.
Right.
No.
Well, but that's a classic thing. It's just like one of the best examples, of course, is Chopping Mall, which the cover has this like cool robot cyborg hand holding a shopping bag full of body parts. Yes, there's robots in the movie. They don't even have hands. And there's not a shopping bag full of blood and guts and stuff. But just to be clear, Shopping Mall is awesome.
It's incredible.
I think that's the pinnacle 80s horror movie. It's just got everything. Like, it's kind of stupid. It's got boobs. It's got jokes. It's got ridiculous gore, like heads exploding. It's got some cameos by interesting horror people. So it's kind of got everything. And it's got Barbara Crampton. So, yeah.
Hell yeah. I like scary movies.
God, so
should we
good.
just do a cover of it, maybe?
Yeah,
of
we
the
should.
Song?
Well, we should find out what they look like and dress like them. But... So, yes, it's Return to Horror High. It came out in 1987, written by a bunch of people, but also co-written and directed by Bill Froelich. And I'm not sure if he did much else. You can't even click on his name on the Wikipedia article. But if you've seen it in the stores more recently, it probably advertises that George Clooney is in it. Mm-hmm. And he is, but don't blink. You know, he's got like 10 lines, right? Maybe 20. He's not in it very much.
But even though he's in it for a little bit, he's very charismatic.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, that guy's like a movie star. And you know what's funny is, so this movie is about, years ago, there was this horrible series of murders at a high school, and the high school got shut down. And now this film crew, years later, has come back to film a movie at it. And when the movie starts, it actually is taking place after that. And so there's a bunch of bodies laying outside of the school, and the cops show up, and they're talking to this one guy who worked on the movie, and he starts talking about it. But then it goes back on the flashbacks of when they're making the movie about the original murders. And so there's actors. And so George Clooney is playing an actor who is going to leave the production early because he gets a better job on television. And it's like, yeah, that probably happened.
You're like, yeah, I got a role for like a TV show.
Yeah. Because, he was on The Facts of Life, maybe around the same time or right after that. Maybe he got the Killer Tomatoes movie. Maybe that was before this, but...
Yeah, wasn't he on like a hospital drama too?
Well, he was on ER. That's where he got major, major huge.
That's right, ER.
That was like 8-10 years after this. But yeah, that's when he was huge. But yeah, so then there's murders happening while they're making this movie. And then they're trying to make the movie. And there's people trying to kind of figure out what happened in the past at the original thing. And one thing I loved about this movie is that you're not always sure what layer of reality you're looking at. Mm-hmm. Is it a flashback? Is it current? Is it the movie they're making? It's cool.
I know. That's why when I finished this, I was like, dude, you gotta see this. This is not what I was expecting at all, like you said, like from the cover. There were so many layers to this, and there were just like moments where I just would stop the film, especially like I'm watching this the second time last night. Mm-hmm. Like, knowing what I already know, I almost feel like you should watch it again.
Yeah, I probably will.
Now that you know the ending and everything. Where I just went, oh, okay. I get that now. That's really smart. I just felt like this was like a very smart, very funny, very well thought out horror movie, which I was not expecting at all. I thought it was going to be just stupid and cheesy.
Right. And it is in some ways, but only in the times when it's like the movie within the movie, kind of. And it's like, they almost get to have their cake and eat it too, because yes, it is clever. But then, like, when they want to just be a dumb horror movie and have like blood or nudity or whatever, the producer of the film is obsessed with that stuff because he's like, that's what sells.
Oh, Harry. Fucking Harry.
Yeah, and he so he kind of pushes that, and so sometimes it shows up, and oftentimes you're like, wait, was this the movie or the reality? Oh, okay, it's interesting. So Harry is played by an actor named Alex Rocco. So Harry's a producer. He's a little older, and as soon as he came on screen, in my movie watching life now, I often just recognize randos, and I'm like, oh, there's that guy. But this guy, I'm like, I know I've seen him. So I looked into it. He's in The Godfather. And when was the last time you saw The Godfather? Has it been recently?
It's been a while.
Okay, so there's a character in The Godfather, Mo Green, and he's not a super big part of The Godfather, but he's in one of the most famous visuals. Towards the very end of the movie, they're showing all these different hits as they take out all these other rival mob bosses. And one of them is this guy, Mo Green, who is like laying on his stomach getting a massage, I think. And he gets shot right in the eye through the glasses. And so I think a lot of people remember that one.
Yeah.
So that's him. That's this guy.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that's interesting. And then check this out. This is probably why he got involved in a mob movie in the first place. So in 1961, Rocco's girlfriend was hit on by Charleston mobster Georgie McLaughlin, setting off the Boston Irish gang war of the early 1960s. Rocco himself was picked up as a suspect in the murder, but never charged.
Whoa.
So this dude was actually involved in organized crime.
Holy shit.
And he's funny in this movie, though. You know?
Oh, he is cracking me up every time.
Yeah.
Peter! Peter!
Oh, yelling for his assistant. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, did you give me those bimbos?
Right. And he's like trying. And the way he openly talks to one of the actresses about her boobs, he's like, you got nice tits. They're fake, but they're good. It's like, oh my God, this guy, you know? Well, and the thing is like, they're clearly just trying to parody and kind of take jabs at actual Hollywood stuff, especially all these people, even Clooney, have been working in like small budget horror stuff. And so there you do come across vultures who are just trying to make a quick buck and, you know, not pay anybody right and treat people poorly and stuff. So, you know, I think they're trying to make fun of that. So you got him, Harry, the producer. You got the director. Is his name Jason? No, Josh. The director, Josh.
Yeah.
I don't understand Josh's mustache.
I don't either.
And he looks a lot like Andy Samberg.
He looked familiar to me too. Did you look him up?
Not really. Did he do something? No.
Him and then the cop girl from Present Time who's really just fucking weird.
Yeah.
She looked familiar to me too. Sorry, I meant to like look this up right before.
I looked her up.
So where is she from?
She's from the Brady Bunch. She's Marsha Brady.
Oh my God.
Maureen McCormick. Yeah.
It kept bothering me. It's like, why does she look so fucking familiar? She is so weird in this movie. Like her behavior.
Yeah, I love it.
I know.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure what the point is, but it's fun. There's two cops, an older detective guy and Maureen McCormick. They clearly have a thing for each other, I think. Because she's like cute and blonde and dressed up as a cop, and this is an older detective, so he's just got the trench coat or whatever. But so they show up to this horrible scene of all these bodies laying around the high school, and there's one guy that you later figure out is Arthur, the writer, and he's like in shock and starts talking about these murders and how this was a movie that was being shot about the actual murders that happened years ago. And so then when it flashes back to something, you don't know if you're watching the actual past or a movie, and then it turns out they're shooting the movie, right?
Yeah, and the fluidity of it, like whoever did the editing in this movie did an impeccable fucking job.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so fucking seamless. Like,
Yeah.
You get jolted out of what you think is reality or what you think is the past.
Yeah.
I would just go, oh, wait. I thought we were seeing, okay, what? It was great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
The editor is a lady, Nancy Forner. This seems to be her first big gig. She's clearly good, and it's another film role where you don't see a lot of ladies. And I liked the score, and I'm like, oh, the score is by a lady, but it's not. Stacy Weidlitz is the composer, but that is a dude. You know, sometimes dudes are named Stacy. So,
yeah, I liked the score a lot.
yeah, it was cool. Yeah, it's a fun movie, and it's well made. And like Shandi said, a lot of what's so cool about it is it's very smoothly taking you in and out of the present day, which is the guy in shock explaining what happened to the police, and then the past of what happened on the film set, the past of what happened with the original series of murders, and then the movie that they're shooting within this movie. And it's funny, like, there's a Polish movie I watched from the 60s. I think I mentioned it once. I watched it maybe 6-9 months ago, but it's called The Saragossa Manuscript. And that starts with these two guys opening a book and reading a story. And then in that story, somebody's telling a story. And then eventually within that story, somebody's telling a story. Within that story, somebody tells a story. And within that story, someone tells a story. And I took count. Whoa. It was like 6 stories within a story.
Holy shit.
At one point. Yeah, it's crazy. And it's kind of hard to keep track of it. It's like a 3-hour long movie too. It's awesome. But it's like, whoa. So I love that kind of stuff. Because this has a similar feel where like once you realize that they're doing that to you, you don't always know what's going on.
Yeah, because I go, okay, am I watching the movie that they're making? Or is this a flashback?
Yeah.
Like, constantly throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
When they're like having sex, which I loved that it wasn't like a long gratuitous sex thing. I appreciated that. And it was cool with like all the flashing lights of like
The
whatever
welders?
metal shit they're working on.
Yeah.
And then holy shit, the killer's like onto them and he's like freaks out and he's like, we gotta get out of here, blah 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 blah. And then you realize like it was a dream and you're like, what?
Oh yeah, that's right. There's a dream sequence too.
Yeah.
It's like they really pull it all out on
It
you.
fucks with you a lot.
I would start writing notes based on what I was seeing, and then it ends up not being what I was seeing.
Yeah.
There's a scene they cut to where it's like these high school kids, and this like jock dude is betting his friends he can like get this girl, and so he starts to, and he's just a piece of shit. And I started writing like, first of all, I said not great casting for the stud Richard Farley because that guy's ugly. But then I wrote, wow, he sucks. Like, he threatens to carry off a woman and naked from the showers to get another date and all this stuff. And he's super rapey. He tries to rape her and stuff. And I was like, fuck this guy. And then it all turns out to be part of the movie because the producer's hand comes in and grabs her boob. He's like, can you see my hand here on her boob? It's like, oh my God.
Harry's
It's
like,
so funny.
are her boobs in the shot? We
Yeah.
need more tits in the shot.
It's
like,
so
but
good.
he puts his hands on her boob.
Yeah.
Oh, but I love fucking Harry. He's such a scumbag and he's always trying to save money. He's not paying people, so that's why you think people are leaving too.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, canceled all the hotels, so we're all staying in the fucking high school.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Like, what a scumbag. But after that scene that you're talking about, it really felt like a fucking flashback.
Yeah. Like to the murders. Yeah.
Like the fluidity between all the actors and everything was like, oh, we're showing you what happened to these people. And this is why they're filming this current film.
Yeah.
And I just was like, right. The point I'm getting to is like, right after that, the main actor, Callie, the main female actor in the movie, which I love her in this. She's great.
Yeah, she's good. Yeah.
She has this great kind of tangent that she goes on to about like how, like, why do we need to see this rape bullshit?
Yep. And she's right.
And she's so right. And I love that they have that in this.
Yeah.
But fucking Harry's like, what the fuck is she talking about?
Yeah.
He totally dismisses her.
Right.
She has this great fucking speech.
Yeah, she did, like, and he's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? And right in there too, like, so they're doing this scene where she's gonna get raped or whatever, and then his hand comes in and you realize it's the film. So then she gets up and he's like, maybe we can put some ice on her nipples to make them show up better. She goes, absolutely not. And like, sort of in the corner of the foreground, you see the prop dude Robbie walk up with ice, and she goes, absolutely not. And just turns around and walks away. So funny. Like, this movie's intentionally really funny sometimes. And yeah, when he says that, like right after that, like, what the fuck are you talking about? So then she gives a speech about how like it's not necessary. And I've said that in many reviews on Letterboxd and stuff, which is like, there are stories in films where, yes, okay, a rape scene is necessary because it's part of the thing you're trying to do. But there's a lot of movies where they just have it in there to like shock you or whatever. Or like sometimes they'll have it in a film to establish that the bad guy's bad when you already have established that he's bad. You know what I mean? You don't need to have that. Yeah. But, you know, sometimes it is a part of the story. And, but so she gives that speech. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then he's like, okay, well, write her a scene. You know, so he goes to the writer, Arthur. He's like, well, write her a scene about, you know, where she's talking to another woman. And, like, they're going to be having a serious conversation and all this stuff. And then he says at the end of that, he goes, oh, and then set it in the locker room shower so they'll be naked.
Of course.
Yeah, I love that you think he's going to, like, give her what she wants. Like, here's a more meaningful scene and that's not exploiting you. He's like, oh, yeah, set it in the locker room. It's so funny. But yeah, it's very funny, and and that's what one thing that's cool about it. It's clever, and you know, like you were saying, they make some good points and about stuff. And you know, looking at the writers, one of them I think is a woman, Dana Escalante, but that's another name that could also be a dude. So I don't know, and you can't click on their name. And basically, it's kind of like that. There's people disappearing because they're getting killed, and then you don't always know when you see somebody get killed if it's in the movie or not. It's really kind of tricky, but Clooney is the first victim. And at 10 minutes in, I said, I think Arthur the writer is the killer. 11 minutes in, I wrote, I will be surprised if we get any more Clooney because that's what always happens when movies like this advertise someone who became famous later. And then my next note is just, oh, because he got killed. So,
Oh, never mind.
yeah.
I couldn't figure out who the killer was because there's two people that are in this film that were there during the original murders, which was the principal, Mr. Castleman, the janitor, who's Amos, and then since Clooney's dead,
Yeah, they get a real cop.
they get a real cop who was a student when the murders happened, Stephen, but his name's Stephen Blake, so they just end up calling him Blake a lot. There's just like this squeaking noise that kept occurring, which I thought was like the mop bucket wheels squeaking. So I was like, oh, is it the janitor? Because then also in the first kill, there's yellow cleaning gloves on the killer's hands. And so I went,
Yeah, right.
But then I went, that's too easy, though.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it can't be him.
Right. I said the same thing.
Yeah. And I went, yeah, it can't be him. But who the hell else would it be? It's definitely got to be somebody that was there back then.
Yeah.
But I couldn't really put my finger on it, like who it was. And normally I know right away. I'm just like, oh, yeah, it's that person. But this time I couldn't figure it out. Because I was like, ooh, maybe it's the cop kid Blake.
Yeah, I kind of thought that at one point.
You know, but maybe he didn't do it back then, but he's kind of just like recreating the murders. Because then you find out like little bits and pieces about like he like dated a girl and had sex with her for the first time, and then she like just fucking disappeared.
Right.
After taking his virginity.
Yeah.
Like, just shit gets like weird, and he like shows Callie his locker with like him and her's name with the heart. But now there's like an arrow through his name that wasn't there before. So there were just little things where I went, well, maybe it's him.
Yeah, it could be him. And I started thinking it might have been her too, Callie, the actress.
Oh,
I don't know. But then
that.
I think the thing that made me think that ended up being a dream sequence. You know what I mean? So that's sometimes I'm like, think you're going one way. I'm like, oh, but that wasn't real. So what the fuck is happening? You know? Yeah.
So
and
weird.
Yeah. Well, and there's so many layers of reality here, but all the layers are weird, especially the men. Like, okay, you got the cop and the detective out front in the beginning of the movie. The cop, as we mentioned, is a hot blonde lady, Maureen McCormick, who was Marsha on the Brady Bunch. So she's with this older detective, and he's like talking to her, but then he just like glances at her boobs. But she's wearing a shirt and stuff, and she's got like her badges. Like, it's not a great look at the boobs, but he's still like, and he like couldn't handle it, you know? And then you got the producer who's horny, and the custodian, when he ends up getting a role in the movie, he tells someone else, like, I want to be in pornos.
Oh.
Or he said pussy films. And,
he said pussy films.
And the guy's like, you mean porno? And then the principal is weird and horny to Callie in the classroom at that one point, right?
Oh,
when he's talking about, like, there was a nose nailed to the floor, which that sounds like a hard thing to do. Nailing a nose to the floor?
I like his weird little speech he has to her, because she goes in there to ask him for her character. He's like, oh, I heard you were the principal here when everything happened. I need some help for my character. Did you know the girl that I'm playing? You know, I can imagine what you went through. And he's like, can you really imagine?
Yeah.
Well, I want you to imagine a nose nailed to the floor here and a tongue hanging from the ceiling over there. And then can you go over to this cabinet and open it and see if you can imagine what it was like? And I love that scene because they open it and there's a fucking melting head and they both scream bloody murder.
Yeah.
Well, first I went, oh shit, somebody got murdered. Like, this is their fucking head. No, it's Robbie set up a prop that's supposed to go off when he opened the cabinets and she fucked it up. And
they ruin it.
Yeah. And I love how he's like, do you know how long it takes me to make this pus?
Yeah, homemade pus.
Takes me an hour.
Yeah. Homemade pus. And
so good.
I bought this on DVD to watch, and I wrote, like, I wish the DVD would have come with Robbie's recipe for homemade pus.
I know, because the consistency looked good, didn't it?
It did look good. Check it out. So that actor's name is Marvin McIntyre. He's in The Running Man, the Schwarzenegger movie. And
shit.
so the three kind of main dudes are Schwarzenegger, Yaphet Kotto, And then this guy, he plays the nerd dude that keeps talking about trying to send a signal out. So if you watch The Running Man, the version with Schwarzenegger, that's this guy. So that's interesting.
Wow.
Now, he looks a lot different because in that movie he has a short haircut and glasses. In this, he does not have glasses. And his hair in this movie is really quite something. It is crazy. He has a crazy, crazy haircut, right?
And he have like two little, not little, but long braids. Were they braids that like go in the back?
Yeah, like a Padawan Jedi haircut. Yeah, I think you're right. And then it was like shaved on the side or something.
He's like a mullet, but it still had. It was very confusing. But I liked him, and I loved all the props and everything. Like there would just be like a shot of body parts like coming across the screen.
Yeah.
Because they're in the props, like whatever room they use in the high school for the props room. I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
It's a shop class room.
Yeah.
In fact, most of the shots of gore in the movie end up being effects. So, like, the actual murders that happen, you don't really see a lot of them.
Yeah, no, you see, like, blood under the door.
Yeah. Like a knife going down in silhouette stuff.
Yeah. That's also why I thought maybe it's the janitor. This is also why I thought this was good writing. Because when George Clooney's character dies, he's, like, getting pressed up against the little window slot in the door. And then there's just a whole pool of blood coming out under the door. Well, then you see a mop cleaning it up. So you're like, okay, wait, is he cleaning up actual blood?
Yeah.
Or is he cleaning up prop blood? So that kind of like fucks with you too a little bit. Because you go, what is actually happening here? Because you just don't know. Because it's such a great place to set up a whole bunch of murders. Because it's a low budget film. So people are just going to disappear because it's a normal thing that happens.
Yeah.
Because like George Clooney's character gets whisked away at another job. People aren't getting paid. People are getting frustrated. So nobody really gives a shit that people are missing. It's just normal. There's blood everywhere because it's a horror movie. It's a pristine set and an actual set to go commit murders.
Yeah, because no one's ever going to know. And everybody's always confused about it.
Yeah.
You know, like, is this the blood? You know, and when Callie and, Blake, whatever, when they start kind of realizing, well, I think people are getting murdered, and they both start, like, kind of taking notes and trying to figure it out. But they follow this blood trail at one point, and it's like, well, you guys didn't even stop to figure out if this is real blood or not.
Yeah.
You guys got to do the math here.
And why are you just assuming?
Yeah. And there's a point, too, in there where, like, Callie's been trying to figure this out with this Blake guy who's a cop. And she's like, where would this trail go? He's like, probably to the body. And she's like, a body? Ugh. It's like, yo, you're trying to help figure out murders. Did you not think there will be a body at some point? You know? Like, you're going to try and solve murders, you're going to see dead people. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, her responses were a little bizarre.
Yeah. Hey, so when he shows her the locker with the heart drawing and him and another gal's naming it Kathy, and then they're like, I didn't draw that heart. Oh my God, it's for my name. They're going to kill me. Did you ever do that? Like draw your name and a crush's name in a heart on like a desk or locker or something?
Oh yeah, I would put it in my binder.
Oh, okay.
Or I would play that game. I don't know if this was a game that you played, but that game MASH.
Yeah, I know of it. I did it once or twice, yeah.
Yeah, like, I forget, it was like, who you're going to marry.
Yeah, you put their name in there or something.
I forget. And it's like, what house you're going to live in, how many kids you're going to have, and blah, 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 blah. Like, you take, like, your full name and your crush's full name, and however many, like, letters you have in common with MASH, like, then that's how... I forget how you play it, but we used to play that all the time.
Yeah, I didn't do it really often, except there was once where I think it was in 4th grade. There was this girl I had a crush on, and it was Valentine's Day, and I drew one of those hearts in the Valentine I was giving her, and say something like "I liked you" or something. Pretty ballsy move, and I think I ended up not doing that and just gave her a normal Valentine.
Oh,
But whatever.
I gave someone a Valentine where I wrote, "Will you be my boyfriend? Yes or no?"
Really?
With the check mark boxes.
Oh.
He was my boyfriend by the end of that period.
Was that in high school?
It was in middle school, 6th grade.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I don't think, I didn't really do too much drawing names in hearts. I guess maybe that's my problem. Maybe that's why I've never been very lucky in relationships, because I don't manifest by drawing a little heart and putting names in it, you know? It's like casting a
Yeah,
spell.
but I never did that thing of like carving it in a tree.
Okay, so you never like carved it into something permanent.
Yeah, no.
Neither did I.
It was always, like on a notebook or in my binder. Like I was like hiding it, Like you said, manifesting. I would like manifesting it,
Like, I know I'm only a middle schooler, but I'm gonna fuck that guy.
Anytime I see a horror movie in a high school and you have that long corridor shot, always think of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Always. And there was a good shot in this when Harry's walking away and he's walking through the corridor and there's all this fog, I guess, that they had set up for another shot. But he's walking into the fog. It was just very nice. There's some really good shots in this, too.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, they do a good job of kind of melding the realities together. And part of that is because they have to, have some good shots that kind of, are framed in a certain way where then they move them. It's like, oh. It's well done. And like we've been saying, there seems to be some more clever moves in it and maybe some thinking about it to just kind of generally making fun of horror movies. And there's a lot of ridiculous characters, and some of them you see get murdered. Some of them just later on are revealed to have been murdered, as far as you know. And I need to ask you, I didn't write enough about this note, so I don't remember what it is. I wrote it right after I wrote the thing about the guy with the ice, so that's about where in the movie it was, and I just wrote the word schlort. So does someone say schlort?
I was just looking at my note about that.
What is that?
So it's right after Harry grabs her boob in the car, and they're filming the rape scene. She says, why is this fucking necessary? And the other actor goes, well, I'm having a good time.
Oh! He calls it a schlong, and she goes, with you, it's like a schlort, that's a great, great joke. Yeah. That's what I wrote down because I loved it. Yeah, there's some good jokes. Later, they cut to a scene where they're filming, and there's a guy laying on a slab somewhere who's like, what's my motivation? And the director's like, you're dead. Dead people have no motivation.
He has a fucking hatchet in his brain.
Yeah, that's right. He has a hatchet hanging out of his head. That's right. It's so funny.
I liked what the director said. He turns around and he's walking away and he goes, the horror. Oh. Being a director with these stupid fucking actors. But it's just like, as I like horror movies.
I like scary movies. That might be a reference to Apocalypse Now as well. So. Because that's what Marlon Brando's character, Colonel Kurtz, says. Yeah. You never know. It could be. The fact that this movie is kind of clever and smart might make it lean more that way. But, with all these different horny professions, there's a horny detective, there's a horny janitor, a horny principal, and a horny teacher, horny film producer. I was like, okay, am I not horny enough at my job? Is it like, are you supposed to be super horny at your job? Also, the way these guys act, I'm like, I don't think any of them have ever seen a naked woman. Because they're all just like, ugh. You know what I mean? They're so horny. It's like, do you guys even understand what this is?
I mean, I will say the amount of boobs you see in this, I thought was perfect.
Yeah, it's not a ton, right?
No.
It's a couple.
Yeah. And I love in the beginning when Robbie's talking to the girl that has her top off. And the director's like, no, Robbie, no exploding tits.
Yeah, he has fake boobs on her boobs.
Yeah, they're clearly her boobs.
Right, but then they kind of do a trick of the camera to make it look like he took them off. Yeah.
And he fucking he's like, no, don't throw it. And it just fucking explodes. Like her tit exploded. It was great.
Yeah, that was really funny. An exploding boob. I mean, that's entertainment.
I want to see this movie that they're filming.
Yeah, totally. Well, yeah, that brings up a good point. So if they're making a movie based on a series of actual murders, it's like, well, where does an exploding titty come into this? Because, if you're basing this on real murders, I'm just going to go out on a limb and saying an exploding breast probably was not involved in the original. Oh, man, you know what's funny is just look at the notes on this movie, just on Wikipedia. The budget was $1 million. The box office was $1.2 million. Woo, just squeaked it in there. Good job, guys.
Wow.
That's called the Clooney effect. Pushed it over the line with his handsomeness.
Oh,
He actually got more handsome later when his hair started turning gray. But
yeah, he did.
yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. It's here's another thing, and I don't know if you'll know or what. So okay, like we said, the prop guys are set up in the shop classroom at the high school, which makes sense because all the tools and stuff in there that they might need are in there. In the corner, there's like this thing on the floor that looks like a big litter box, and it looks to be filled with metal shavings.
Yeah.
It also ends up being over a trap door into a secret tunnel. Later on, we find that out. But like, this seems to be something that's supposed to be in a shop class.
I took shop class. We didn't have anything like that. It has something to do with like either sharpening tools or cooling something down, maybe. I'm trying to think of what it would do.
Yeah, I'm trying to type in different things to see if I can get any. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a swarf pit or swarf bin where they can dump the metal shavings and stuff. So, okay. So that must be it. So, yeah, at some point, I believe it's one of the actual murders, a guy gets pulled into it, and then he gets pulled in super far. You're like, what the hell? And so later on, they reveal that there's a tunnel under there that the murderer pulled him into. But also, you're just like, well, what is this? I didn't really take much in the way of shop class. Did you?
Yeah, I took shop and home ec.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we took that in 8th grade, both of those. But then after that, it was optional, so.
Yeah.
They show science class in, well, you think it's a flashback, but it ends up being part of the film. But they are doing an animal dissection.
Yeah, that whole thing was awesome.
Yeah.
I loved that whole sequence where you've got, the nerd kid that the teacher's bullying.
And it's kind of long, too.
It is very long. That's why I thought it was the flashback.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Did you ever have to do that?
Yeah, I did the frog. Did you do the frog?
Yeah, and an earthworm.
Yeah.
You did that?
Yeah.
How about a mink?
Mm-mm.
Okay, that's like a mammal. So what they did with us, it was like levels. Like you start with the earthworm because it's simple, right? There's not a lot in there. And then a frog, and then a mink.
Wow.
Because it makes a mammal, so there's a lot more going on in there, I think the worm was in 7th grade, maybe 8th grade. The frog was in 8th grade. I remember that because in my middle school, there was like a block of science rooms. And so they were kind of open classes, like there weren't doors on most of the classrooms. And they had a middle part where all the science teachers' offices were and where they have the storeroom. And the teacher asked me to go back and get something. And I was like, maybe it's in this bucket. You see where this is going. And I take the lid off the bucket. And just like 50 dead frog faces floating in formaldehyde are just staring at me. I'm like, that's terrible.
I still remember that smell.
Yeah.
When you're carving them open. Just like the whole room.
Yeah.
That putrid, nasty smell.
Yeah. It's a weird practice. I do think it gives you a good education on biology and maybe even a respect for living things. It's also just, it's a very weird thing, Yeah,
we did have a girl in our class that opted out of doing it. Like she did a virtual thing on the computer instead because she was just too terrified. She couldn't do it.
Wow. Well, and that happens in the movie. So you think it's a flashback scene and there's a guy who won't dissect the frog because he's like, they're living animals. And here's the thing though about that scene is then you kind of see the teacher bullying him and stuff. And then you realize that it's part of the film that they're making, but also what is that part to the movie? Because were there any? That's not like supposed to be the killer or something, right? Like, what is that scene all about in their movie?
Oh, the guy with the hood and the weird mask dissects that teacher.
Right. Okay, that's why they showed that. Okay. Now,
yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. I'll probably take that part out because it's just me being confused. Anyways, I get it, and it's just like an E.T. E.T. and Elliot are telepathically linked, and Elliot doesn't like dissecting the frog, so E.T. gets drunk, which is always my first response to a problem. And then he, uses magic to free the frogs, basically. Good times.
I was also hoping that this is actually what happened because fuck that teacher.
Yeah.
And the mask is really creepy.
It is a cool mask. It's a white mask, sort of Michael Myers-y, but it's all kind of melty and weird.
I liked it a lot. It kind of reminded me, what was that Twilight? The Twilight. You got me thinking about Twilight now. The Twilight Zone episode.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. The pig faces?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that a little bit.
The beautiful woman wakes up in this world where everybody else has a pig face, so they think she's ugly.
I love that
cool.
episode's so good.
Very cool.
Yeah, I liked how fucking creepy it was while he was dissecting him and putting the nails in his fucking hands and shit,
Oh, right, yeah.
which was really cool.
Yeah.
And then like slicing open his chest. They were also playing what the teacher, like all his bullshit bullying sounds while he was being dissected, like a voiceover.
You mean audio of the teacher bullying the kid? Yeah.
Yeah, which I thought was really cool. And it was just like kind of creepy because the killer grabs blood off of his chest where he just opened him up and then he puts it on the fake anatomy dummy. It was just really creepy and cool. And I went, oh, hell yeah. I should do that outfit for Halloween. See if anybody gets it.
And I'll be Frankenhooker.
That'd be awesome.
It is a fun angle on it to have all the gore actually just be they're making a movie too. And I mean, but there have been people that got killed.
Yeah.
And then some of the victims that get killed turn out to not have been victims. We'll get to that in a little bit, I'm sure. But it's all over the place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a mind fuck.
It is. And it's like, I think you're right as it's recommended, if not required, to watch it again. You know, so you like understand what the hell's going on. I did write down at one point, I've been on several sets in my life, you know, movie sets, TV sets, whatever. And none of those were as grumpy as this one. It's like everyone's so fucking pissy with each other. Like they're all like, come on, get in here. What the hell? Da-da-da. It's like, yo, on our film sets, people were generally pretty nice to each other.
Yeah, and the director's just like, kill me already.
Yeah, exactly. And if anyone on a White as Kids set was grumpy, it was me, because I was too sweaty and I was sick of Trevor doing too many takes, or like, you know, the one where they're hitting me in the face with shit. I got really grumpy about that one. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Like, so, yeah, you know, understandable, but still, I was being kind of a bitch, you know, so whatever. But, so if anybody was grumpy on our sets, it was probably me, but even that was not all the time, and it was only one dude, and generally moods were good on that. So seeing everybody be such a fucking grouch on this was kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, people are disappearing, so like, you're having to take on the workload of like the person that's disappeared. I guess I would be fucking grumpy too. I love the bathroom scene. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
The clown car bathroom.
Yes, they're shooting a scene in a bathroom, like a public, you know, high school public restroom. And I forget what they're even talking about. So there's two characters standing kind of outside the stalls by the sinks in the bathroom, and they're talking about something, I forget. But then, you know, they're done with the scene, so a door to the stall opens, and a couple people walk out, but then people keep coming out of it for a long time. How many people were there?
11.
You counted? Yeah, I thought that was hilarious. And they do a couple of things like that, too, that almost put it at like a Naked Gun parody spoof movie level, you know? But that was really funny. Yeah, I loved that.
Oh, yeah.
It is a very silly, within the world of the movie, it's still silly. But like, it didn't take me out of it. It's still fun, you know? But that was awesome. I loved that.
Yeah. I like how you said Naked Gun, because that girl cop that's in present day, when she's eating the chili dog.
Yes.
And it falls on the lead detective, and she just kind of brushes it off his shoulder. Well, what the fuck is she doing?
And even before that, though, they cut back to them a few times. So earlier than that, they show her, and she comes out of the high school, and she's bloody.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, well, there was a lot of blood in there. They're moving stuff around. He's like, okay. And then later they cut to her, and she's eating a chili dog, and she's covered in blood. And yes, she drops it and picks it back up again. But even before that, it had like blood on it. It's like, I just wrote down, what a babe, eating a hot dog covered in blood. But like, it's very crazy. And yeah, it's like, You're right. That is also a Naked Gun-ish kind of scene. You know what I mean?
And when she's slurping on the drink that she has, when the writer's trying to tell this very serious thing that happened to all these people he's working with.
Yeah, he's describing a tragedy, and she's like, it's so funny. Great character. I almost wonder if they brought that in like later, because like, you know, this whole movie's so crazy, and it ends up being not very serious anyway. So it's like, what if we made this not serious either? You know, so.
I loved her. Doesn't she act kind of sexual when she comes out with the blood all over her? Where she's like, there's so much blood, and she's rubbing her body.
Yeah, and that's what I was kind of getting at before when I said her and the detective both seem to kind of be into each other, because he's like staring at her boobs, and she's like, when the first time you see her, she's not like that. But yeah, you're right. It's after she gets covered in blood, so maybe she's got some sort of kink with blood, and it also makes her hungry. But she's like, yeah, she starts unbuttoning her shirt when it's covered in blood. It's like, hey, man, you like bloody tits? You know? I don't know. But I kind of wonder.
Funny.
When the movie ends, that character, Officer Tyler, and the detective she's with, they end the film very confused.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if, to soothe their confusion, they like went home and just boned it out. Like, do you think they're fucking, or do you think they ended up fucking?
Maybe they're just being so fucking weird to one another.
Yeah, it's weird.
It was like she was kind of egging him on a little bit.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
And what I was going to say that I just had this thought now is like, what if they're trying to make you think this is also a movie? I mean, because it is, you're watching it, but what if, because I don't know, and look, I don't do the theories that you like to do. I normally just take it face value and then go on with my life. But like, sometimes it sticks in there and I'm like, well, wait a minute, it is weird. So maybe they're trying to say something like that. I don't know. Yeah, it could be. Or it's just that it takes place in a very silly world, you know? Because what ends up happening, I mean, we can talk about this now, right? The ending. Can we talk about the ending now?
Well, we can also mention another silly thing that happens, I think it's kind of towards the beginning, where they have all the dead bodies strewn about, like in the front of the high school. Mm-hmm. And, you know, she's talking about, oh, well, it's mostly just body parts or whatever. And they're talking to the writer, you know, he's kind of just describing some more stuff. And she notices that one of the bodies is moving under one of the sheets.
Right.
And like, what, which one? So they go over and he goes, well, check the pulse. And she goes down and just picks up an entire arm.
Right.
And then he goes, I thought that was a female, because it's like a dude's arm, I guess.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, all the body parts got mixed up. Like, just, oh, we're stupid cops. We don't know what we're doing.
It was super weird. And did that end up going anywhere? Did that end up being somebody or something? Or
no. They're just like, oh.
So it wasn't moving? It wasn't well, okay.
She thought it was moving. But then that now makes sense. They're all trying to stay still.
Right, because it turns out none of those bodies are real. Mm. And that some of the people did get murdered, I think.
I was also very confused the first time I watched this, when this all happens. When they're fighting the principal downstairs in the creepy basement, it's almost like a diversion, which you don't realize it's a diversion until all of the bodies just get up like, oh my gosh, it's all the people that worked on the film. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
So no one's pulses actually got checked by the cops.
Right. They're like, well, they're clearly dead. And maybe it's because yes, all the bodies out on the lawn of the high school end up being fake. And the film crew decided to change the movie they were doing when they found out that there really was a murderer.
Yeah, Harry figured it out.
Yeah, a couple of those people really did get killed, and Harry figures out what's going on.
Yeah.
So they faked it. So Robbie, the props guy, put fake blood and fake limbs all over everything. So maybe he made it look so gruesome that they're just like, there's no way they're alive. I won't take their pulse. I don't know. But also they could just be bad cops because, you know, so.
Yeah, and there's no forensics team out there yet. Like, there's this huge mass murder.
Yeah.
They're eating chili dogs and slurping on sodas.
There must be a food truck somewhere at this mass murder. And it's like, hold on. Wait a minute. What? And who's the food truck guy? It's like, hey, I heard there's a bunch of bodies just got discovered at the high school. You know what? That means there's going to be a lot of cops and emergency workers there. And you know what? Those folks get hungry.
They get hungry.
So I'm going to go sell treats at this fucking murder scene, and I'm going to make bank. That's a funny thought. But yeah, but eventually the main hero dude, Blake, the cop who ended up becoming an actor, and Callie, they figure people are getting murdered, so they follow this blood trail, and it leads to what did we call it? There was a swarf, I think is what they called it, right?
The swarf.
The swarf, whatever the fuck that thing is. They the weird thing we were talking about that looks like a litter box, and swarf. There we go. SWARF. Anyways, so they follow it to the swarf bin, the thing on the floor that's full of like metal shards. And they're like, what the hell? And that's when they realize there's a trap door under there. Into a secret tunnels, or is it an old part of the high school? I wasn't quite sure on that.
It's a basement, maybe storage spot. But then it kind of felt churchy to me.
Yeah.
A bit.
Well, because the killer was arranging them to be at a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's why it felt churchy too. But it also kind of looked like a classroom, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So they go down there, and I don't know, he doesn't bring a flashlight, and then that's stupid because then he loses his gun.
Well, they have a flashlight, because she even goes, why do people always want to go into dark basements without a flashlight? So she gets it, but then she gets scared by a spider, and she breaks it because she hits it, killing the spider.
Right.
Which I thought was hilarious.
And then he drops his gun, and they're like, well, can you find it? No, I could if we had a flashlight. So it's like, that's a good sassy comeback, sir.
So silly.
Yeah, so then they kind of end up, well, you wanted to talk about this, so tell us what's going on. Set the scene.
They see a whole bunch of skeletons, and there was a bunch down there, right? There was like 10, 15. I wanted to ask you, are they dressed for a wedding, or do you think they were like prom dresses?
I don't know. I mean, it could be prom dresses too, but it sounds like the killer wants to make this cop Blake marry the Kathy girl, so I don't know. And I think the characters say like that they made all the bodies look like Kathy, because didn't they all end up having blonde wigs on and stuff?
Oh, wait, that's right, because Blake ends up seeing the photo of his girlfriend from high school in the principal's office, and he goes, that's my girlfriend from high school. How do you have that photo? He goes, oh, well, she had a different name because she didn't want everybody to know that she was the principal's daughter.
Right.
So he didn't even know he was dating the principal's daughter back then. He goes, well, she left and nobody ever heard from her. Do you know where she's at? And he goes, oh, she's back in school or whatever. Or she's like taking graduate classes or whatever. And he's like, well, do you know when she's coming back? And he just like runs away. But it's this whole thing of the principal doesn't like anyone touching her.
Yeah.
So anyone that's touched her, he's murdered.
Oh, that's okay. I didn't catch that part. Okay. Because I remember he said something about that, but I didn't quite catch it. And I didn't get a chance to put subtitles on, whatever. So, okay.
Yeah. And so he's the last person that touched her. So.
Right.
He's got it. Killer.
Okay. So when they first go into this room and see all these skeletons, you see the custodian. And the custodian's like, I was checking on this. And they're like, did you kill these people? He's like, no. He just has me checking on them. But then he's like, yes, I did kill them. I didn't quite get all that. But then he attacks Blake. And then Blake, like, hits him or whatever and pulls his face off. And it's the principal.
Oh, my God. It was so fucking weird.
It was very weird.
There was never an Amos.
Yeah, because the custodian was acting super weird then, too.
Yeah.
Like, so it makes sense that it wasn't actually him.
Because then he gets all weird and kissy. Ugh. He's like, do you want to say hi to her? Mwah. Do you want
Yeah.
Mwah.
And he's like giggling a lot and shit. Like he's really, really out of it.
And he's sweaty. Ugh. He freaks me out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, he's definitely a crazy guy. And he's getting very crazy. And they're like, holy shit.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and so he wants to make him marry her, even though she's dead.
You're gonna marry my daughter.
And what he reveals is that when Blake lost his virginity to her, he also got her pregnant.
Oh, that's right.
And then she tried to give herself an abortion or something, but that seems to be a lie. I think what really happened is her dad got mad that she did that, and he just killed her.
Yeah, that or she killed herself giving herself an abortion, because that happens a lot. Like, if you do it wrong, you'll kill yourself.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, for sure. And that's why it should be legal, you stupid bastards.
Yeah, and maybe that's why he lost his mind, because he was like, you put your seed in my daughter.
You put your schlord in my daughter.
Look what you made her do.
Yeah.
You made her kill herself and her unborn child. Oh.
And so Blake gets away from the killer. Then the killer grabs Callie, the actress, and holds a razor up to her neck. And he's like, give up or I'll kill her. You have to marry Kathy, the dead body, or I'll kill Callie. And he's like, nah.
So he goes, all right, I gotta go anyways. He's like, what? Where are you going? He's like, are you shitting me? Well, yeah, it's Monday Night Football. He's like, are you fucking real? You're gonna leave me here with this psycho?
Yeah.
And he says some team names. He's like, oh, so-and-so's playing, so I gotta go.
When you first watched the movie, what do you think was happening there?
Well, I went, is he really fucking leaving? Like, what a dick. He just doesn't want to deal with this. Or I thought maybe he was just trying to distract them, but I just never knew with this film.
No, you don't. I thought he was crazy. I thought, like, oh God, is he actually crazy too?
Yeah, and what I was waiting for too was filming to be happening again.
Right. That they cut to something and you reveal that it's on the set, yeah.
Yeah, because they're both the main actors in the movie, and this principal's also in the movie, so maybe this is their new rewrite or something.
Right. But leading up to this, right before they discover the principal's the murderer, and right before they go into the kitty litter hole thing, they find other dead bodies, and they find what seems to be the severed heads of the producer and the director, too.
Oh, that's right.
So you're like, oh, God, they got everybody. And then eventually, there's a javelin down there for some reason.
I wasn't sure he was going to grab that at first. I thought he was going to grab something else, but I'm glad he grabbed this.
Yeah, so then he kills the guy with a javelin.
That was awesome.
And then they leave the room, but then they cut back to present day with the sexy, bloody cop and the detective talking to the writer, Arthur. Because Arthur has been there this whole time, and Arthur has revealed that he was once a student there long ago, too. Mm-hmm. And Arthur just kind of has come off as weird. But so Arthur's telling the story and mentions that they didn't make it out either. And then you see that two of the dead bodies and body bags are Blake and Callie. And so for a second, it's like, holy shit, they died?
I know.
It's crazy. And then it's shortly after that the cops are like, we got to go check this out. Because he's like, they're still in there. The bad guy's still in there. The killer's still in there. So they like get geared up, the detective and the sexy cop and everybody else. And they're like, let's get in there.
Get his big guns.
Yeah, it's got like a shotgun or something. So they're like, let's go. And maybe that turns on the bloody cop, too. She's like, I know why he's got a big gun. He's also got a big schlort.
Got a big schlort.
Got a big old schlort. He's got a long schlort. You'd almost call it a schlong. Anyways. So once they rush into the high school to go find the murderer, now there's nobody outside anymore. And Arthur goes, okay, everybody. And then they all get up.
Not one cop was told to stay with all the...
No! Dude, shoddy police work. But also, you're talking about the cops that will eat a chili dog covered in blood. These people are fucking crazy. These people are nuts. These police people. But yeah, that's in this movie, it's not ACAB, it's ACAC. All cops are crazy. So then it turns out, okay, so they weren't dead. Okay. It's kind of crazy. I'm not quite sure what their plan was.
So I think they were trying to get the principal to think that people were just leaving set, maybe. But if he's the killer, why would like Harry and the props guy have their severed heads there? Because he obviously didn't sever their heads.
Let me go to the Wikipedia thing.
Okay.
Because I did read this yesterday after the movie. I'm like, okay, this helped. In reality, Callie and Steve uncovered in their research that Castleman, the principal, was in fact the true killer. in the 1982 massacre and killed him in the basement. And they killed him with the thing. Harry, the producer, decided to capitalize on this by devising a mock massacre centered around the revelation as a publicity stunt to help promote the film. Okay, so that's what he was doing. So they made their movie, but he also did this. He's like, hey, yeah, let's pretend that the killer's back, and then he killed all of us, as a publicity stunt.
Gee, so you never really fucking know what you're watching, like at any moment.
Yeah.
Dude, so cool.
It is awesome, and it's like, that's why, like I said, I want to watch it again, because it's a lot more interesting movie than you think you'll see, because you think, like you said at the beginning of this, you think you're just going to watch another dumb 80s comedy horror movie.
Which would have been fine.
Which is fine, because those are great, and we talk about those all the time, and we like to watch those, so it's fine. But this was a lot more to it than that, and a lot more clever. So, yes, they did that as a publicity stunt for their movie. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. So that then it'll be in the paper something that everybody got killed. Here's the problem with that, though. Okay, well, let me just set the scene. So they all are like, okay, we're not dead. Wow, it worked. Let's leave. So they all get in their cars and they leave with the body bags. They just take off with everything. And then you cut to the cops finding the principal impaled on the javelin, but he is not dead, and he gets all weird and giddy and like pulls it out like, it's very strange.
The classic thing of the killer's not really dead.
Of course. And it makes sense when you do it with Michael Myers or Jason. But this is just some fucking nerd. And he's still like got super killer strength.
Timmy, he's a dad who's in pain. He's lost his daughter, or
he killed his fucking
like,
daughter, probably. So then they shoot him a whole bunch. Yeah, and it's kind of a long, drawn out scene for what it is. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, they shoot him, and you think he's dead, and then he comes back again, and they shoot him some more.
Yeah, and then the cops think he's dead, so they go outside. Now all the bodies are gone. They're like, what the fuck is happening? So they kind of think maybe the killer's still out there.
The main detective goes, I should have taken that cop in New York City.
Yeah. I should have taken that job with the NYPD. Yeah. And then he says something like, I won't have to deal with this shit. Or that's better than this or something. Which is a funny joke because obviously, especially in the late 80s, New York was a fucking hellhole. Being on the NYPD probably was a very tough job,
Jesus.
So it's kind of awesome. Funny joke. But then we get one more scene. Arthur, the writer, is back in the school writing out a typewriter, typing something out, and he's writing a screenplay called The Return to Horror High. And he's got a framed photo of Principal Castman on his desk, and you kind of realize, like, oh, this is his kid.
Yeah.
But then somebody comes in the room and drips blood on the paper, and Arthur looks up and says what?
Dad!
Yeah. What? So the guy's alive again. And again, it's like, okay, so did that happen? Is that in a movie within a movie? What is this? So it's kind of fun. It's like you don't really know. Okay, go ahead.
So this is why I think Arthur's actually the killer. Like he actually killed, I think, Clooney maybe. There is the scene of them getting food from the food truck. And Callie is running around just eavesdropping on everybody because they're collecting notes and shit on who the killer might be. And she overhears Arthur talking about how he used to be a student. Mm-hmm. And he's talking to the cinematographer, the big dude that had the tattoo on his arm. And everybody's just kind of covered in blood in this movie because, there's blood everywhere. Well, there's also that awesome scene where Harry throws the big bucket of blood on that guy. That was awesome.
Oh,
yeah. So the blood on the cinematographer totally looked super fake. There was blood on the writer that looked real. Like the colors were different.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And I went, what? I rewound it and looked at it again and I went, that's fucking creepy. And if that's actually what I'm seeing, that would be a really cool.
Yeah.
Just because there was a lot of stuff in this movie where there's just these tiny little moments. There's a shot, I think it's right after Clooney dies. There's a shot on Harry. Oh, before Harry's like standing in front of this like painting of this like red person with the crazy wild hair.
Yeah.
Or kind of looks like a demon.
Yeah.
And there's like a shot of that and then it's Harry. So it's just just cool little things like that.
Yeah, like, are you trying to say that it's him? You know what I mean? Like, what is that? Yeah.
Yeah, they're just so good.
Yeah, it's cool.
I loved this movie.
Yeah, it's very good.
A lot. And I do recommend a second watch, and you just pick up on all these kind of like little things happening like in the background.
Yeah, I bet.
Towards in the beginning of the movie, Arthur keeps walking up to the director with different pages, like, "Oh, I got this new scene," and he's like, "No," and he crumples it up and he gives it back to him. He harumps off set, and there's all these white hands that are stuck, like coming out of the wall.
Yeah, what is that? There's a few rooms like that. What is that? Because that's also in the room when they're talking to the girls whose boobs are out. Talk about the exploding boobs.
Yeah, I know.
There's like I think they're in that room too. It's like, what is that?
Maybe it's just like
that was super weird.
I don't know, but he like takes the crumpled up script page and just sticks it on the hand as he's walking out.
Which is
like,
just
here,
weird.
you have it.
Yeah.
So good. I loved it so much. Did you like it?
Yeah, totally. No, I thought it was very cool, and I'll watch it again. I bought it on DVD because I don't want to watch it in some fucking YouTube thing, and I don't want to watch it on Tubi. So I just ordered it. It was like $10 on eBay, and it showed up because we ended up having to push this recording back. So I'm like, oh, I have time to actually just let it get mailed to me. So
hell yeah.
If they announce a 4K of this sometime, I'll get it because that's cool. You know what I mean? But for this, I'm like, well, I don't know. So I'll just get the cheapest version, which is $10. Plus, it was guaranteed to show up on time. So, but anyways, there's no extras on the DVD. But I wish it had something like Robbie's homemade pus, or like something that just explains what the fuck was happening.
Dude, also, you speaking about Robbie, when he's in the van, he puts on the yellow fucking gloves, and he says, "And next time it'll be for real." Why the fuck does he say that?
Right, so maybe nobody died, and he was involved in killing it, but maybe he really is a killer too, and that's why he's so good with the gore?
Like, what?
That happened in another...
He delivers it, the line is like so, like, just sinister. I was like, what? What? I'm so confused.
Yeah, I was confused about that too. But maybe they thought they were going to make another one of these movies too.
Oh.
Well, they set up the thing with Arthur and the principal, and then they have him say that, so maybe they were going to make another one. I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting. It has a 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and made $0.2 million profit, so, you know, why didn't they make a sequel? But no, I think it's one that definitely fits with a lot of the things we've watched and a lot of the movies I collect too, which is like, it's kind of a lost thing, and it's good.
Yeah, had good music, silly. I like horror movies that kind of take you for a ride, and you kind of aren't sure really what the fuck is going on, who the killer is. Yes, having some boobs in there is great. This didn't overdo it. Just literally my favorite thing of this movie is just like the layers in it. I thought was so smart and done really well. And I haven't seen a lot of horror movies like this that do that.
Have you ever seen April Fool's Day?
Oh yeah.
That movie also ends with nothing actually happened.
Yeah.
But I kind of thought that was a cop-out, whereas this I didn't think was a cop-out, because in this it's like there's so much going on that it's like, okay, well, of course, like, because there's just so much shit happening and so many questions of reality. It's like, makes sense. Where in April Fool's Day, it's kind of like, here's a real horror movie. Just kidding. Goodbye. You know? It's
it's so dumb.
But this, like, although that is similar about it, it is, I think it's better done. And it's like, well, why do people know that movie and not this one?
I don't know.
Sure, that movie has Biff in it, but this one has George Clooney.
And it has, a pretty famous person in it.
What, Clooney?
The Brady Bunch girl.
Yeah, the Brady Bunch girl, yes. And the dude from The Godfather, who apparently was a real murder suspect at some point. So,
and I'm sorry, the cover for this, I think, is cooler than the April Fool's Day.
Yeah, the April Fool's Day one is a girl with a ponytail that's a noose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which also doesn't happen in the movie. But, yeah, that movie's like, this is, to me, a similar idea done much better. And yes, it is kind of confusing, but like you said, like we've been saying, it'll be fun to watch it again sometime, you know? Because it's like, what the hell?
Let me know if you watch it again, and I'll watch it for a third time.
Well, and I mean, the main thing about this, though, is I like scary movies. That's the main deal. That's the main message I would like us to come away with.
Well, there's another song in it.
Oh, it's terrible.
When they're doing it.
It's so bad. I wrote that down like, this song is so bad.
So you sent me the YouTube clip of the Scary Movie song.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of looking at the comments. Apparently somebody reached out to the guy that wrote the lyrics to these songs. And the guy sent him something different. What? That wasn't in the movie.
Okay, so someone wrote the lyrics to the guy that wrote the lyrics to the Scary Movie song also wrote it to that song that plays in the love scene.
Yeah,
because that song's terrible, and it's like some lady singing about like your masculinity. I'm like, masculinity.
He'll always be there.
Yeah, God, it was like awful. It was terrible.
I'll always be there for you.
Yeah, it was so 80s and stupid, and just like it sounds like someone who's like, oh, I'm supposed to make an 80s love scene song. You know what I mean? Like, they're not actually trying to be creative. They're like, oh, this is just phoning it in.
It didn't even need lyrics. Like, just the song itself would have been fine.
Then, you know what? They should have just had no music and all you hear is just humping noises. That'd be funny.
Or because, like, just the sounds of, like, whatever they were working on and the light that came off of it was cool. Like, that's all you needed.
And you mentioned that earlier, and I meant to say, because when that was happening, I was watching that, and it's like the lights are out, and then it's flashing blue because there's these guys outside, you know, working on the film stuff, like doing some arc welding. You know, they're doing props or something. So doing arc welding. And so I think even you see a shot of the guys working outside, looking inside, pointing at, like, hey, there's those two people fucking. And it's like, wait a minute. Like, if you're going to bang a fellow actor, like, in a school, on a film set, and you're, at this point, they're both pretty sure there's a murderer around, it's like, maybe you should draw the blinds. You know what I mean? Like, what? Instead, these guys welding are just watching you bone this girl. And yes, it adds some cool moody lighting, but if I'm having sex, I don't want random flashes of blue lights.
Also, that sound is annoying.
Yeah.
So it's not sexy sounds.
No, and neither was the song.
Like, dude, man, construction's happening, babe. I'm so horny.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Yeah, like, so stupid.
They're drilling outside, babe. Time to drill you.
What was going on in the mid and late 80s with what people thought was sexy? Because, like, last year we talked about Ninja 3 The Domination with the fucking V8 thing. And I think that was supposed to be funny, and maybe this one was too, but still, it's just like, what's happening?
What?
Because there is part of it in both scenes that you know is supposed to be, like, actually just, like, I don't know, erotic or serious or whatever you want to say, romantic.
Yeah, sensual.
Yeah, sensual. There you go. And it's like, okay. Like, I don't want to bang anyone covered in tomato juice, and I don't want to bang anyone to the soundtrack of men welding. Unless that's what she's into. Okay, fine. I'll put on the little mask and we'll kind of light a butane torch. Fine. You know? As long as you're willing to let me pour Lunchable Capri Sun into a wine glass. So. That might be the first callback we've ever done, but there you go. There's a callback.
That's a good one.
I think we covered this movie. It's good, but it's like there is a lot to it, but it's not. I feel like we kind of covered it, right?
Yeah, I think anyone that watches it is going to have like their favorite scenes and stuff, because we didn't talk about like him hanging upside down and then the turbine fan coming towards him.
And it's the guy that played the douchey, now we're talking about it. It's the guy that played the douchey jock, the rapey jock guy.
But that's a really cool scene. This is why I say the editing in this movie is really cool. It's because you don't see the fan hit, but when it's hitting him, it just cuts to Harry throwing the blood on the guy like a test shot.
And when it cuts, you see the blood first.
Yeah.
And it turns out to not be that guy's blood from the fan, but Harry throwing it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just chef's kiss editing, man.
Very cool.
So good.
Yeah,
and fucking Harry's
very
like,
cool.
This is what we want.
Yeah.
This is what people want. And I was like, yeah,
That's right. He's just throwing all that blood at someone, and the director's like, "This is supposed to be a psychological thriller or something like that."
Like, no, people want to see this shit, the gratuitous shit, and want to
It's
see the blood.
awesome.
And I was like, well, he's not totally wrong.
He's not wrong.
You know, we forgot to mention too, because I was like, ooh, a phone in a suitcase. Cool. Is that when she's eavesdropping on Harry, who's, I guess, called whoever is financing the film or whatever. And he's just like, you know, when you said that they never found the killer, well, I think something's going on here.
Yes, Harry says that. Right.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I was just distracted by the phone in the suitcase.
Yeah, which is like, was that a thing? I don't know. But you're right. Yeah, so I guess that is our clue that he did know what was happening. So.
Yeah, something's going on here.
What I like too is like when Callie first sees the director and Harry's heads, and they turn out to be fake, but like she's like, but these guys are my friends, and I like that she considers both of them her friends because they're both assholes, but she like in different ways. But she, you know, these are her friends. She's an actress. She's probably worked with them on other movies, and she's like, these guys are my friends, you know. Yeah. And it seems like people really do like Harry, even though he's just a lecherous, like, fucking weirdo.
But they just know he's a scumbag.
Yeah.
Like, Harry the scumbag.
They're like, once you get past the fact that he'll date rape the shit out of you if he gets a chance, he's a really nice guy.
The food truck is there because of the movie set. Because Harry goes to that kid, the assistant. He's like, I want pastrami on rye, lean, but not from the food truck.
Right, yeah.
Not from the truck.
So yes, the food truck is there because of the movie. So when they're there investigating the murders at night, is the food truck still in operation? Or did she just break in there and fucking make herself a chili dog?
Yeah, because where's that guy been?
Yeah.
He's just sleeping in the food truck?
Yeah, what's going on? Or is he not there and he's one of the fake dead bodies and so she just fucking goes in there and fixes herself up a meal?
She seems like that kind of person that would do that.
Dude, I'm so hungry. I'm going to cover myself in viscera and then go make a chili dog. It's like, what? My kind of chick. I'd totally ask her out.
I mean, when she was having the chili dog, I was like, damn, that sounds good. When was the last time I had a chili dog?
And she's hot. Like, and she's a good-looking lady, and she's covered in blood eating this chili dog. I'm like, I kind of like this. I don't know. I kind of like this.
There's something about her.
Learning something new about myself today. Well, and you know what else I learned? I like scary movies. I already knew that. But yeah, if you like scary movies, you'll like this. Especially, I think this is one of those movies, just like Scream, where if you've watched a lot of horror movies, it makes it better. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, it's like kind of it's a movie for people who know how horror movies work, and so this kind of plays with that.
I wonder what I would have thought about it if I would have seen it back then.
When you were like 11 or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if I would have liked it if I thought it was boring or stupid.
I don't know.
Huh. It's campy a little bit, but not really.
Right, and I don't want to call it sophisticated, but it's got like a layer to it, and like we've been saying, clever. That's like maybe kids won't appreciate it. I don't know, but
I don't know.
You know, but also kids are different. Like my daughter, we watched The Housemaid the other night. You know that new movie you've probably heard about. Sydney Sweeney is in it, and Amanda Seyfried. It's like a twisty, thrillery kind of thing. And there's like sexy scenes in it because Sydney Sweeney is not afraid of nudity. I think everybody knows that. And even though maybe she sucks, like I support her liking to be naked. So anyways, but so then last night my daughter's like, I would like to watch another like thrillery kind of thing like that. And I'm like, well, you want to watch something that's pretty similar to it? And it does have some sexy stuff, but it like kind of all makes sense. She's like, sure. So we watched Wild Things and she loved it.
Nice.
Wild Things is awesome. Also.
Hell yeah. So glad you liked it.
Yeah. And you know what's funny about it is I saw someone say this. Denise Richards was kind of like the Sydney Sweeney of the late 90s for teenage boys. Totally.
Oh, hell yeah.
And there's a scene where someone takes their own tooth out in both movies, which I thought was interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, and a few other things like that too. So it was cool.
Man, I need to rewatch that.
Oh,
shit.
Man. Do you remember the twists? Because if you don't look it up or anything. Just watch it again.
Yeah, I'm just going to watch it again. It's been a minute.
It's really
been a
good.
Hot minute.
I think the next time she says she wants to watch a thriller, I won't put on a horny one because I don't want her to think I'm some kind of weirdo. But
Dad, why is always all these naked ladies in all these movies you're showing me?
So you see a very famous actor's dick at the end of Wild Things, and and she goes, "Oh." Not like she liked it, but she's like, "Oh," like she didn't expect that. Like when we watched Silence of the Lambs a couple months ago, she was like, "Oh, was that the first male full frontal nudity?" And I'm like, "No." Mm-mm. And even in that one, it's not even technically full frontal because he's tucking, you know? So, yeah. And I'm like, no, male nudity has been happening in movies a long time. They just don't do it as often as female nudity. And I said, you know, I'm in support of giving everybody something to look at. So I'm like, I think it's cool that actresses like Sydney Sweeney are fine with being naked, you know, and that when males do it too. And it's like, you know, because it's part of the human condition that we like seeing naked people. And so it's fine to make that part of the entertainment, you know, because like, look, I mean, okay, so someone like Sydney Sweeney or even this actor whose dick you see in Wild Things, you don't see people that look like that in your daily life. So it's kind of seeing their boobs or wiener or whatever, schlort, it's similar to seeing special effects. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like when I was 17, you think that the guaranteed Nicole Kidman nudity was not part of the reason I went to Eyes Wide Shut? Hello,
we
you know
it was
because you couldn't just look it up online yet. It was, I think that was one of the last movies where you couldn't, you know, but like it was still like, if I want to see her naked, I'm gonna go to the theater, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, you know what I mean. So so it's just kind of teaching like, you know, and even if you don't have interest in that stuff or whoever, whatever, I still just appreciate that they're doing it because it's just more of an acceptance of like, we are humans and humans like this and it's fine, you know?
Yeah.
So I asked her at the end of Wild Things, I'm like, do you kind of understand why there's so much like sexy stuff in that movie? She's like, yeah. Like I told her, I'm like, a word they're definitely going for in this, and I'm pretty sure in interviews and stuff they said this word is trashy. Like Wild Things is trashy in the best way, but it is so trashy. Everybody's sweaty. I was talking to my daughter because she has family in Florida on her mom's side, so she's gone to Florida several times. And I'm like, why do you think they set a lot of crime, sleazy movies in Florida? Because they do. And she's like, I don't know. And I can't remember what she said, but I was like, I think it's because they're sweaty. And when you have people looking sweaty and moist in the Florida humidity.
Glistening skin.
Yeah, and it adds to the sleaziness. You know? So.
Well, because I also think of like sweating as like stinky.
Yeah.
And sex is stinky too.
Sex is stinky.
You know, when you walk into a room, you can tell someone's just had sex in there. You know?
Yeah. If it was good. If you fuck somebody and it doesn't smell bad afterwards, go back and try it again.
There's not enough fluids being spewed about.
Yeah. And you got to work up a sweat. That's why on my weight loss app, Lose It, which I think you used too back in the day.
I did, yeah.
Okay. So, you know, you could obviously track your food on it, but you can also track exercise. And one of the exercises listed is sexual activity.
Yeah.
And there have been a few times in my life where I'm like, I think I've earned that to go onto the workout.
Yeah, because you get your heart rate going.
Sure.
For extended period of time.
Look, there's been a few times where I was like, I'm very sore. I think I did exercise.
I woke up some muscles that hadn't been used for a while.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I put the work in. My thighs and tongue are equally tired. So I think this counts as burning calories because I know I burned them, you know. So
hell yeah.
I think I even counted it one time when I just had a long jerk off session. I'm like, I sweated a lot. I'm putting that on the app.
I'm tired. Like I just worked out.
I think I put in some good work on that.
I need to see you logging into your app smiling.
It's like, well, maybe I'll throw away all this tissue first, then I'll put it on the app.
110 calories. Perfect.
Hell yeah. Yeah. But anyways, I don't know what we're talking about anymore. Boobs. Okay, but Wild Things also, okay, maybe it made me think that because the amount of twists, and The Housemaid does this too, where it's like, there's a few times where I'm like, I don't know what's really happening here. You
That's
know?
true.
Yeah, The Housemaid, I thought it was pretty good. It's too fucking long. It's similar to Wild Things, but it's a half an hour longer than Wild Things.
Yeah, no.
You know, so it's like, okay, it's like 2 hours and like 10 minutes. It's a lot of movie.
Yeah. No.
And I love Amanda Seyfried. I think Sydney Sweeney's a good actress, and then some handsome guys there too. Great, good for him. But he's fine, you know. But it's good. But they're making a sequel, which is interesting. So, there's a series of books. I don't really know. We'll see what happens. They also made a bunch of direct-to-video sequels to Wild Things, which I haven't seen, but Outlaw Vern wrote about them, and apparently there's not any of the same characters. But they're all just about, here's 2 more hot chicks getting involved in a scam, and there's a scene where they make out.
Of course. Like, you know what? This formula worked.
Yeah.
Just keep going with it.
Get these 2 hot ladies doing stuff with each other, and there will be some kind of scheme. And roll the credits. But anyways, yeah, this was cool. I'm glad you introduced it to me.
I'm glad you liked it. Because, you know, I always get nervous when I recommend films. But at the same time, if you don't like it...
But you know that I like almost everything.
That's true. But would you want to spend 2.5 hours talking about a movie you didn't really care for?
No. Are we done, do you think?
I think so. My room is getting really hot and stuffy because I have the air off. So when you're talking about sweating, it just made me go, oh my God, I got so much under boob sweat going on and like butt crack sweat.
Yeah, but not for a good reason. Not from the sweet, sweet craft of lovemaking. Well, you want to throw out our information?
Oh my gosh, the socials.
Yeah, let's do that. And then you can go get your boob sweat off.
Oh my God, they're so sweaty. Well, thank you, Timmy, for enjoying your birthday movie, Return to Horror High. And if you would like to follow us on social media, we are on Instagram at Earnful of Popcorn. You can listen to all of our episodes on YouTube, our website, earnfulofpopcorn.com, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and we also have a Patreon that we started a few months ago. It's $2.99 a month. It's not too much, but we have fun. People have been suggesting really interesting movies.
Oh,
so
good. Yeah, it's a good community. Also, there are exclusive things. Occasionally, our rival podcast, Fistful of Popcorn, posts on there. And then also, I finally started doing the thing I've been threatening to do, which is writing reviews, longer reviews, and putting it on there. And so I did one for $4.20. I would say it's worth $3 price of admission.
I think so, man.
It's a wild ride. I wrote it high in the middle of the day.
Timmy's an excellent writer, so if you want to read it, join our Patreon.
I'm an excellent writer. Yeah, definitely read it. That's my Rain Man impression. Is that not cool to do? Can you get canceled for doing a Rain Man impression now? Well, Dustin Hoffman doesn't really have autism either, so I don't know. If you're doing an impression of his impression, it's probably fine, right?
Yeah, you're fine.
I don't fucking know. Anyways.
I think that was everything, right? Website, Instagram.
Yeah, I think so. Now I'll do my part, though. Thank you, Shandi, for enjoying your birthday movie, which happened 18 months ago, I think. It feels like a long time ago. Zombie Flesh Eaters. But also, thank you to Jordan Cooper for writing the theme song, even though if we track down the members of Pleasant Company, we might end up replacing your theme song with I like scary movies.
I like scary movies.
But I would never use it without their permission. So until we get that, Jordan, you're safe. So, and thank you to Trevor LeGarrette for the animated, awesome stop motion thing you see when you watch our episodes on YouTube. At least the last couple. And thank you. I think I'm done. Thank you to girls who eat bloody chili dogs.
Oh my God. Gross.
It's a very specific kink that you cater to. And I'm sure the bloody hot dog kink community appreciates it.
That's so gross.
It's gross. What the hell's your problem, lady? Look, I let hot people get away with a lot of things. I don't know. And you're a very good-looking lady. However, eating a hot dog covered in blood, I don't know if your hotness can quite pull that over the line for you. I think you just are fucked up.
Yeah. You nasty girl.
Yeah.
You nasty, nasty girls. Nasty girls.
Miss Jackson, if you're nasty.
Thank
Anyways.
All you nasty boys. Nasty boys.
Yeah, that's a good song.
That song fucking rules.
What song is that? Is that Janet? Is that the song I'm talking about? Is that
Yeah.
Janet Jackson? Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. Yeah, okay.
Oh, you nasty boy. Eating all them nasty food. Nasty
Did they
boys.
say that? Nasty
Yeah.
boys eating nasty food?
Yeah, it's like in the middle. You gotta listen to the song today. Oh
my
who's
God.
that eating that nasty food? Nasty boys.
And then there's the part where she goes, I like nasty food, right? When I was a kid and subscribed to Columbia House, because everybody did our age and got fucked over,
Yep.
you get 13 CDs for $1 or whatever it was. Janet Jackson Rhythm Nation was one of them.
Fuck yeah.
Then I went on a vacation to visit my cousin in Boston, and while I was gone, my parents got my bedroom tiled with black and white, like chessboard tiling. It was cool. And after that, I could never find my Janet Jackson CD again.
Oh no, is it underneath all the tiles?
Maybe, or the installer was just like, found it. He's like, hell yeah.
Yeah, like, I'm putting that in my pocket.
It's like, fucking Janet rules. And, why didn't he take Salt and Pepper or Blues Traveler 4? I don't know, but he took that one, so,
Yeah. Who's that eating that nasty food? Nasty boys.
Good movie. Good movie. No, it's a song. What the fuck am I talking about? It's a song. Oh, my God. Okay. Well, I think we did it.
Yeah, that was fun.